Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and feeling something you haven't felt in a long time. Clarity, not the rushed, distracted kind of morning where your hand automatically reaches for your phone, scrolling endlessly through notifications, messages, and videos before you've even left your bed. But a quiet morning. Your mind is calm. Your thoughts are sharp. And instead of feeling scattered, you feel focused, energized, and in control. Now imagine having that feeling every single day. This is the power of a dopamine detox. But before we talk about how to do it, let me tell you a short story. A few years ago, there was a young man named Daniel. Daniel had big dreams. He wanted to build a successful business, stay healthy, read more books, and become the best version of himself. But there was a problem. Every day he woke up with motivation, and every night he went to bed frustrated, because his day always followed the same pattern. He would wake up and check social media for just a minute. That minute became 30 minutes. Then he'd open YouTube for inspiration. One video turned into 10. Later in the day, whenever he felt bored or slightly uncomfortable, he reached for quick hits of entertainment, scrolling, gaming, junk food, constant notifications. By the end of the day, his brain felt exhausted, and the goals that once excited him, they felt harder and harder to start. Sound familiar? Daniel wasn't lazy. He wasn't undisciplined. He was simply overstimulated. His brain had become addicted to instant gratification. And that's exactly what's happening to millions of people today. To understand the solution, we need to understand one powerful chemical inside your brain. Dopamine. Dopamine is often called the motivation molecule. It's what drives you to pursue goals, complete tasks, and experience satisfaction after achievement. When you work hard, learn something new, exercise, or accomplish something meaningful, dopamine rewards your brain. But here's the problem. Modern technology delivers dopamine too easily and too often. Endless scrolling, short videos, notifications, video games, constant entertainment. Each one gives your brain a quick dopamine spike. And when your brain receives these spikes all day long, something dangerous happens. Your brain's reward system becomes overloaded. The easy things become irresistible, and the meaningful things become harder. Reading a book feels boring. Working on your goals feels exhausting. Even focusing for 20 minutes becomes a struggle. Not because you're weak, but because your brain has been trained to expect constant stimulation. This is where the dopamine detox comes in. One evening, Daniel stumbled across the concept of a dopamine detox. At first, it sounded extreme. No social media, no junk entertainment, no endless scrolling, just quiet, focus, and intentional activities. But Daniel decided to try something simple. Just one day, one single day, where he removed the biggest sources of instant gratification. No social media, no mindless YouTube, no constant phone checking. Instead, he allowed only simple activities: reading, writing, walking, thinking, planning. At first, the day felt uncomfortable. His brain kept reaching for stimulation. He picked up his phone without thinking, only to remember he had promised himself not to scroll. He felt bored, restless, even slightly anxious. But something interesting happened. After a few hours, his mind started to slow down. The noise faded, and for the first time in months, he was able to sit with a notebook and focus on his ideas. No distractions, no urges, just clarity. That day changed everything, because the next morning, Daniel noticed something powerful. Simple tasks felt easier. Reading felt enjoyable again. Working on his goals felt exciting. Why? Because when you remove constant dopamine spikes, your brain resets its sensitivity. Suddenly, the normal things in life become rewarding again. A productive work session, a good workout, finishing a chapter of book, even a quiet walk outside. Your brain begins to rediscover the satisfaction of effort and progress. That's the true purpose of a dopamine detox. It's not about punishment. It's about retraining your brain to value what actually matters. So how can you do your own dopamine detox? Step 1. Identify your biggest dopamine drains. For most people, it's things like endless social media scrolling, short-form videos, constant phone notifications, mindless internet browsing. These things are not evil, but when consumed excessively, they train your brain to crave instant rewards. The first step is simply awareness. Step 2, create a detox window. Start small. You don't need to disappear for a week. Begin with 24 hours, or even half a day. During this time, avoid the biggest sources of instant gratification. No endless scrolling, no compulsive entertainment. Instead, fill the time with activities that require effort and presence. Reading, journaling, exercise, learning, planning your goals, spending time in nature, talking to real people. At first it might feel strange, but that discomfort is a sign that your brain is resetting. Step 3, embrace boredom. Boredom is not the enemy. In fact, boredom is where creativity begins. When your brain is not constantly stimulated, it starts generating ideas. Solution, dreams, plans. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs, creators, and thinkers intentionally create space for boredom because that space allows deep thinking, and deep thinking leads to breakthroughs. Step 4, return to dopamine intentionally. A dopamine detox doesn't mean you must eliminate entertainment forever. The goal is balance. After resetting your brain, you can reintroduce things like social media or videos in moderation. But now, instead of controlling you, you control them. Over the next few weeks, Daniel continued doing dopamine detox days. Sometimes once a week, sometimes just a few hours. And slowly, his life started changing. He read more books. He exercised consistently. He launched the business idea he had been postponing for years. And most importantly, he regained something priceless. Focus. Focus is the superpower of the modern world. Because while everyone else is distracted, the person who can concentrate deeply for hours will always move ahead. They will learn faster, create more, build more, achieve more. A dopamine detox is not about avoiding pleasure. It's about reclaiming control over your attention. Your attention is the most valuable resource you have. Where it goes, your life follows. Imagine what could happen if you reset your brain. If you stopped chasing constant stimulation. If you trained your mind to focus deeply again. The book you want to write, the business you want to start, the body you want to build, the life you want to create, all of it becomes possible when you take control of your attention. And that journey can start today with one simple decision. One day of intentional living. One dopamine detox. Your brain will reset. Your focus will return. And the person you're capable of becoming will finally have the space to emerge. So if this message resonated with you, take the challenge. Try a dopamine detox this weekend. Just one day, put the phone down, silence the noise, and give your brain the chance to breathe again. You might be surprised by what you discover, because sometimes the greatest breakthroughs in life don't come from adding more. They come from removing the distractions that were holding you back all along. And when you do that, your future becomes limitless.